So I'm recording to the cloud. There we go. So Dee, thank you for joining the New Haven Free Public Library. I am Samantha Williams, the entrepreneur in residence. And as part of my residency, I have weekly programming when we invite guest speakers to come in and share little nuggets of wisdom for our entrepreneur and small business community. So thank you for being here, and I will turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So my nugget of wisdom for today is all about PositiviDEE. So positivity is more than just being positive all the time. You guys know as well as I do that not every day is a good day. You're not always having happy moments. We're all going through struggles and challenges, and we don't have control over what happens to us, but we do have control, absolute control, over how we deal with it. So my story is I was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, 26 years ago. And even though it stopped me in my tracks and it made it very challenging for me to walk, I decided, you know what? I'm not going to let this hold me back. Not in my personal life and not in my business life. And I kept going. So, and within the last 5 years, now I've had it for 26 years. I was diagnosed the day before my 22nd birthday. Wow. So it's been a while. But I've learned so much along the way. You know, it knocked me out of my comfort zone, just like the coronavirus, you know, right out of the comfort zone. There's no way to get back in, even if you wanted to. But it was good. I learned to adjust. I learned to make modifications and adjustments. And in doing that, it also helps in teaching how to free yourself with positivity in your business, because it's the same thing in business. You know, we all have to modify and adapt and learn how to pivot. You know, you might be going straight this way and something happens and you go, oh my God, what do I do now? You know, what do you do? Well, you got to find a way to pivot. You got to find a way to change it, go in a different direction, modify, adapt. So positivity for me is more than just being positive all the time. It's an attitude. It's a way of being. It's a way of looking at life. You know, MS was not meant to stop me in my tracks and stop me from living. It was meant as a wake-up call. And it taught me how to adjust and modify and adapt and become a better version of myself. So I've even gone so far as to redefine MS as modified swagger and motivational spitfire.
I love that.
I know. But think about it too. You can use that for business. You can always redefine yourself. It's called rebranding. You know, yes. If it doesn't work for you, and if it's not positive and it doesn't, you know, give you the warm fuzzies and it brings you down, change it. You know, especially if you're running your own business. If you're running your own business and you have that full control, by all means, go for it. You know, what doesn't work for you, you're the author, you're writing the script. You can't change the past, but you have absolute control over what you do today and going forward. So yeah, I refuse to let anyone else define me, to let anyone or anything, you know, hold me back. I'm like, no, I'm taking my power back from all these different sources that I ever gave it to. I wasn't even aware that I gave my power away until recently. And like, when you give your power to a client who brings you down and who's just negative all the time, it's like, you know what? Let them go. Let them go. It's not worth it. And I guarantee you that when you release that negativity, when you release that client from your life, you will in turn get like 2 more. Because when you block your blessings, when you allow all that negativity into your life, you block the good things that are coming to you. Because you're so focused on that situation, that scenario, that person. They take up so much of your energy. So once you let that go, all of a sudden things open up and things you didn't see before come at you like, you're like, wait, where'd that come from?
I've seen a lot of that with small businesses in the area and small businesses in general with COVID. Like they have to pivot, like that was the perfect word for that. And everything you're talking about, like with letting go clients and stuff, it's the same thing as letting go your past practices. Like everyone's moving online, like the library's moving online, and we're like adapting and stuff. So I'm seeing so much of that. So that's really inspirational.
Yeah, it's really what's hard as human beings, and you know as well as I do, trying to break old habits is wicked challenging. You know? We get so stuck in our way, and we're such control freaks, and we're like, no, it has to be done this way. And when that happens, you don't allow for anything else. So it's not until things start to go down the toilet and you're like, oh my God, I've lost control. What do I do now? Sometimes that happens for a reason. Sometimes that's the universe saying, hello, wake up, you're not seeing the big picture. So it wasn't until I fully surrendered. I mean, I was so frustrated starting this new business. I had huge intentions and big dreams, and I wanted to be, you know, I had goals. You know, everybody has goals. I want to be here at this time. I want to be here at this time. I want to be here at this time and here at this time. And so many clients and in so many different social media, you know, arenas. And when it doesn't happen, we get so frustrated with ourselves. And that's when we start the negative self-talk. And it's like, oh my God, you suck. You're not doing things right. You know, you're a loser. What are you thinking? And it's like, no, that's not it at all. It's just there's a bigger plan for us and we can't see it. So it wasn't until I stepped back that I'm like, I surrender control. I just surrender. I completely and totally surrender. I think I even did a yoga bow. I'm like, I bowed down. I'm like, I'm done. I surrender. Laid it
and
all out on the
everyone
floor.
wants to be in control in a business. Like you feel like you have to be in control.
Isn't that
so that
funny?
makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But we were brought up believing that, you know, that's a belief that we've learned over time from whether it be, you know, your parents, whether it be school, whether it be just working. We've learned that you have to be in control. You can't ask for help because it makes you look weak. You know, you can't take a break, because if you take a break, you know, time is money. It's like, oh my gosh. And people think that in order to bring it all back together, like say you're really, really tired and you can't keep things straight. Things are just going nutty and you're like, oh, and you're trying to hold on and you're pushing through and you're pushing through and you're pushing through. But the more you push through, you're hurting yourself. You're really hurting yourself. In order to serve others without sacrificing ourselves, we need to serve ourselves first. And it doesn't mean that you need to go on vacation for a week. It doesn't mean that you need to take a day off.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Well, we can't go on vacation now if we wanted to. So.
No, I know. That's true.
But what it does mean is you need to take time for yourself. And by taking time for yourself, I mean, it could be 30 seconds. When I used to work in the corporate world, I get so peeved. You know how you just get really frustrated with people or really frustrated with situations? I would go to the ladies' room and I would do this exercise. I'm not even kidding. Try this, okay? Shrug your shoulders up really, really tight. Hold on, clench your hands, make a like silly, silly face, and just hold it for like 20 seconds. Breathe in and hold it. And then release it.
Wow.
How do you feel?
You feel
Oh,
so
come on. Did you guys even do it, or was
relieved.
I the only one making that face?
Oh, I didn't do it. I have my phone in my
Come
one hand.
on, you're supposed to do it with me.
I
thought
didn't
you
do
were
it
just
because
giving
I was
us an
like, why am I
example.
gonna? I was like, why am I gonna give myself all that tension and stress?
You're not. You're not.
Yeah. Try
Come on,
again.
do it
Try
with
again.
me.
I'll do it.
Okay, we'll do it.
Okay.
We'll do it.
Shrug your
Okay.
shoulders up high, high, high. Clench your fists.
Lori, you better be doing it too.
Close your eyes. Scrunch them up really, really tight. Hold your breath for like 5 seconds. And release it.
That feels good.
How do you feel? Did your shoulders go down?
Yep.
I'm feeling that I'm reminded that I need a massage. I need to feel that more often.
Yeah. All that tension release is like, you know, like mental tension release too.
Yeah, it is.
It felt good.
Good.
Felt good, yeah.
It's so funny how we don't ever block anything from coming into our minds. We have thoughts that go through 24/7. 24/7. They're just going.
Yeah.
And as humans, we tend to grab onto the negative ones. You know, like ask somebody, okay.
Well, you want to fix.
Yes. So who went on vacation? Who was the last one to go on vacation?
Not me.
Wasn't me.
I take days here and there where I try to just get away. Even though I'm not away, just like take a ride, or sunsets are good for me. Beach, you know, that kind of thing. But yeah, there's nothing.
I did walk my dogs on a beach recently. Yeah.
Nice.
But I do that all the time. I live near Lighthouse, so.
Oh,
That's
beautiful.
awesome.
Oh,
I went the
Lori,
other
you're by
day.
me.
I went there the other day. There was no one there.
That's awesome.
So it was like
That's
my own
great.
beach.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. But if you just think about this for a minute, okay? Whether you've worked with somebody, whether you know somebody who's been on vacation, if you've been on vacation and you've had say you had a rough flight, or there was somebody on your plane who was annoying, or you had a nasty cab driver or something, when somebody asks you, or when you ask them, how was your vacation, what do they tell you about?
The nice stuff.
Those stories. Yeah.
Right? Right? The one thing that sucked.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how's the rest of the vacation?
The view was
the same thing in
awful,
our
but the beach
business.
was great. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's funny.
if you've got 10 clients that love you, you know, and they're all like, yes, tell me more, let's work together. And you've got one that's, you know, that you just can't handle, or that's being a jerk, or you just, oh my God, what do you focus on?
Oh yeah, like I sell rare books, and I have not been putting the effort in because of what's been going on with the pandemic. I'm diabetic, so I've been very, very isolated, and I've been not putting the work in, so I'm like faulting myself for not putting the work in because I'm not selling as much. But it's like when you do sell and you know you have like so many thousands of followers and like people that have bought books from you before, you have to remember like the good stuff. But you're right, your mind goes immediately to blaming yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, we have to stop the blame and shame game. You know, it's like we're so fixated on the negativity, and it's like, no, let's release that. But in order to release that, you kind of need some awareness and a different perspective. You know, and it's funny that you guys were talking about self-help books earlier. I feel like I'm the precursor to the self-help books out there, because until you have a strong foundation for transformation, it's really hard to change. And in order to change your behavior, you need to change your mindset. And in order to change your mindset, you have to know there's a problem. You know, you have to have an aha moment. And when I talk to people about PositiviDEE and about, you know, perspective and changing mindset, they're like, oh, it's like they never thought about it. And I'm like, I get it because I was there myself not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been in business? When did you start your business?
I started A Dose of Positivity on April Fool's Day in 2018.
I love it.
I started it as a YouTube channel. And I had started a blog before that, and somebody had said to me, no, you need to go live. You just have that spirit about you. You need to share your light and your love with people. I said, okay. So I started it as a YouTube channel, and it's still going strong. I post, you know, a new video every Sunday, and it's A Dose of Positivity. And my very first video was so funny. I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I was standing up over the video camera. My daughter and my dog were under the desk. You know, I told my daughter, I'm like, when I look at you, stop it, because I don't want to wreck the video. So as I'm doing my thing, the dog starts whining, my daughter starts laughing. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Yes.
You know, but what I learned from that is that it's not about perfection. It's not waiting until you have everything lined up, until it's just so, to put it out there. People love you because of your authenticity. You know, that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for you to be perfect, because that puts you up above them, and then they feel uncomfortable.
Well, I can tell you that's something that I've started. I didn't even plan to be like authentic like that, but here we are. I'm homeschooling a 6-year-old while running a business, working in my business all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no balance anymore. I was on a call the other day, and they were talking about the swirl, I think they called it, because it's impossible to balance it. And so I get on the webinars and the Zoom calls and he'll pop in, right? And, you know, sometimes I'll send him away, or did you finish eating? Did you do your homework? Whatever it may be. But part of my reality right now is I'm not working from home by myself like I usually do. I have a coworker, and my coworker sometimes needs attention. And so I have to keep that in mind. And then you have the people who they get dressed up, like full makeup and hair and everything for the Zoom calls. And I have some calls where I'm like, I did a call yesterday. I said, oh no, I'm not camera ready. I'm not turning that camera on. And the woman was like, I can hear you, but I don't see a video. And I was like, you're not going to see a video.
That's
you
funny.
don't want to see this today. No, it's not the day for it. And so
you know, those people aren't wearing pants. Like,
I know. We
definitely
saw that on the
blazer,
news.
but they're not wearing pants.
It's like, I think people really connect with that authenticity. When you show up as a real person, they connect to that real person. And that's one thing I try to, you guys know me. I'm going to keep it real. Whatever, if I'm saying something, you know Sammy means it. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to show up as I am, and I'm going to get the work done. And that's all that matters. And I think, especially now, when you can show your clients how you can adjust through this storm, and that you can pivot and change and shift and swirl as needed. It also speaks to your brand and your commitment to it.
Yeah. That reminds me of like body positivity. Like you love those not Armani or anything. You want those campaigns and those fashion industries that show all body types. It just shows that they're aware of like reality, and they're authentic to the idea that like not everyone's a size 0. And they make a lot of money when they start doing that, because it's like people appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what makes me so authentic, is that, you know, I'm 48 years old and I had to embrace using a walker.
You are not.
I am.
No way.
Yes, ma'am. But, you know, at 48 years old, having to embrace a walker, that's not something I appreciated or enjoyed. But I had to redefine that too. That was a little help from a friend. I wasn't tripping, I wasn't falling, you know, I wasn't having issues with balance. I was having issues with posture. You know, I couldn't stand up straight because on the days when my legs weren't working correctly, I would bend over and hunch over and hold on to anything I could, you know, and do wall walking just to get from one place to the other. And like, oh my God. And it's funny because it wasn't until I gave a speech to junior high girls, or, you know, middle school girls, and I came in with my walker and I had papers, you know, on the seat, and I said, okay, girls, I go, what's your perception of, you know, me and the walker? I said, everybody has a perception. You know, I said, you can't help it. It's, you know, you've grown up thinking that people use this for a reason. And one girl goes, do you use it as a table? Like, it's perfect.
I just like carrying this around for my papers.
Yeah, exactly. But it was so funny. So then I said to him, I said, all right, let me show you something. So I walked with the walker, and then I left the walker and I walked without it. I said, how do I look more confident? And I'm like, oh God, with the walker.
The posture. It's the posture. Yeah.
So it even showed them, you know, it's not something to be scared of. It's not something to shy away from. You know, people are challenged. Everybody's challenged with something. You know, me, it's my mobility right now, but that's okay. I'm all right with it. You know,
and I think it's a good message too. I was just on another call, and it was about understanding when you need help and getting the resources you need. So yeah, you could walk and struggle on your own without the walker, but with the assistance of it, you can be more productive and you can feel better and stand up better, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it helps you own your space. You know, everybody's always talking about owning your space and, you know, being confident, standing in Wonder Woman posture and all that. Well, yeah, it's hard for me to stand in Wonder Woman posture if I don't have Diva with me. And Diva's the name of my walker. She's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah. So a friend of mine, I had actually put it out there. It took me 6 or 9 months to come to terms with the fact that I needed to use this thing. And then it took me another 6 or 9 months to put it out there online. I put a video out there of me training my dog while using the walker, and he was walking on the right side of me, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But our trainer's like, yes, way to go, dose of positivity. I'm like, okay. So who am I to take that away from other people? I mean, I became an inspiration without even trying. So that's good. I mean, I'm being a positive role model. So I'm not about to poo-poo all over using a walker when I'm inspiring other people by using it. It's helping me and it's helping others.
But I love it too, because we talk about all the time how people only use social media for their highlight reel. And they're not showing the struggles. They're not showing the arguments with their spouses and their kids acting up and the sick days and the days they can't get out of bed. They're not showing any of that, right? So whereas you ask, you know, what do you say when people ask you how your vacation was, they tell you all the negative stuff, right? Social media, everybody's highlighting the positive stuff. And then it makes you think, is anybody else experiencing what I'm experiencing? Am I the only one going through this? So I think it's an excellent way to be real.
Right.
And show your face, show who you are, show your challenges. And then, you know, you let people know if you can do it, anybody can do it.
That's the perfectionism Dee's talking about. Yeah.
So, but think about it, that's the same way in our businesses. You know, everybody wants to be so like, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this. But the more you got this, the more you don't got that. You know,
you compare your business so much to other people. It's the same thing as social media.
And sometimes before you can move ahead in your business, sometimes you have to step back. You know, you really have to take a break sometimes and look at the big picture and say, okay, how am I showing up? How am I putting myself out there? How are people seeing me? And don't be afraid to ask other people, you know, how am I serving you? How do you see me? What am I helping you with? Because they love to give their opinions.
We do that at the library. Like after every single thing, we send out like a project outcome thing, and we ask like, how can we improve? And I think that's really helpful.
It is. It's super helpful. So no, don't ever be afraid of that. And you know, I attended something the other day, and they were talking about failure and success. And the thing that stuck with me is she said, success is just one or a couple extra steps past failure. You know, you have to fail in order to succeed. And so many of us quit. So many of us quit when we fail. It's like, no, keep going. It's right there. It's right there.
You know, I just wrote about entrepreneurship and how 90% of businesses fail in general, but then, you know, how many don't make it to the 5-year mark. And what they were saying was with those businesses that fail, like say, you know, the business goes completely under, a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners come out of that so revitalized because they learned so much through those lessons of failing. So they failed. They know that business is defunct, it is no longer in existence, but now they can open up a new business based on everything that they learned through that learning process. And one of the authors said that failing in a business is one of the most important lessons you will ever learn while running a business.
Wow.
So true.
Dee, have you ever gotten bad comments on your YouTube videos or bad feedback?
I've gotten no feedback.
How does that make you feel? Like, how do you deal with that?
I realized that YouTube and social media, it's not out there to validate me. It's not meant for validation. It's not meant to build you up. I mean, you can have 1 million people liking your stuff and it doesn't mean they're going to buy from you. You know, you really just have to stay focused on your purpose and why you're doing what you're doing and being there to serve your clients, because you know what? It's not about you. So, and I've realized it's not all about me. It's all about other people. I mean, they depend on me.
You're helping other people with this mindset. Like, that's awesome.
I know. So, you know, if I'm having a bad day, it doesn't matter. I still need to get up off my assets and post something positive because people are waiting for that. And if I don't get the response I was looking for, I'm like, all right, well, let me change the wording. let me play with this. Let me play with this. Let me ask a question. And then it's like, oh, there they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also so important to remember, you know, it's important to ask for feedback and testimonials, because when people have a negative experience, they're going to tell everybody, they're going to write bad reviews. But when they have a good experience, there's so less like, and I'm guilty of it too, that it's so less likely of them to go and write a positive review.
Yeah.
Mm.
Very true. And you know what?
Or they'll share it. They can share
Yeah.
it. Like I share positive videos when I see something that I like really like. I'll share it on social media. So I won't like comment really. Like you're right. I don't really comment, but I can share
and that's
it.
a form of engagement too. So it's noticed and it's appreciated. So that's good.
Yeah. No, it's funny. Sometimes you feel like you're talking to an abyss. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, social media is tough. It's challenging. You gotta have thick skin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are like, "Oh, you started a YouTube channel in 2018. How many followers do you have?" I'm like, 46.
That's so funny. And it's like, you know, you've built this business and you're still putting in the work. Like that's so positive. Yeah,
It doesn't end. It's a constant. You know, you have to.
From a content perspective, I think it's great because you have all this content. You can repurpose that into blogs, into social media posts, into all kinds of things. So you have the content. I come across a lot of people who have all the content up here and they've never gotten it out.
Yeah.
And I need something from you in order to produce content. So you at least have the content and it's not going anywhere, right? It's there. Yours.
That's how I feel. I like to write. I'm writing a book and it's like I just go back and edit. I won't show it to anyone. It's all in my head. And it's like, you know, you got to look for that feedback. If I was braver, I would look for that feedback for sure.
Okay, so I know, do you know Dr. Bridget Cooper?
No.
Okay, Dr. Bridget Cooper has written, I don't even know how many books now. And I reached out to her because I was looking for help with my book. And I said, how did you do it? I said, did you have a publisher? Did you, you know, who did you talk to? And she goes, I put something out on Facebook and I asked some of my closest friends who has time to read this, and they read it and gave her comments.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and sometimes you just have to put yourself out there.
And you have to be prepared for that feedback. Yeah.
It takes some vulnerability.
It does.
Yes.
Because you can't put it out there and then be mad at what everybody's saying.
Right.
Like, no, that's not what I meant. No, that's not
okay. Yeah.
I know. Well, I have to tell you too, I've been journaling for years. I have like 10 notebooks. And I'm like, yeah, I want to put all this into books. This is great information. This is great, whatever. And I talked to somebody and she goes, did you ever think that all of that was lessons that you needed to learn? And I went, what? I said, what are you saying to me? And she goes, I'm just saying that go through and try to figure out what other people need to hear, or try to put something out there like in your videos or in your quotes and see if they respond to it. And if they respond to it, then that's something that you can expand upon.
I'm excited for your book. I want to read it.
Oh God. Well, you're going to be waiting a little while.
All right. I feel you on that one.
I support that message because I get a lot of people when I go to all the networking events and I say, you know, I'm a writer, and people automatically assume I write books. And I'm like, I don't write books. I'm not interested in writing books. And one of the reasons I don't write books is a lot of my business has grown from people saying, Sammy, can you write this? And I'm like, absolutely. And then I figure it out and then I do it. And so the people who come to me and they say, I have a book idea, I want to write a book, it's going to be about this. One, they hardly ever go through with it. They never end up writing the book.
People quit. Yeah.
They quit. And they're not thinking about their audience. They're just thinking about telling their story. I have a story I want to tell, but what do people want to hear?
Yeah.
So I love that they told you that, because it's so important to always keep your audience in mind. You can, like you said, it could be like you're talking to a wall, talking into the abyss. You're going to write this book, you're going to publish this book, and nobody's going to sell it because nobody cares. And so it's when you talk about your, you know, running a business and all that, it's so important to keep people around you who's going to keep you grounded and tell you the truth.
Oh yeah.
Not what you want to hear.
Yep. No, I have a lot of people in my tribe that kick me in the assets a lot.
Good.
I think it's cool. Like, you should look at your YouTube videos and like, I watched a couple of them, and you should just write those down, like as transcripts.
Oh, trust me, I have so many plans for those.
That's awesome. That's
some
really
of them,
great.
it's funny too, because I don't even realize, like, when you put so much content out there, you don't even realize what's out there, you know, until you go back and you're like, oh my God, look at all this stuff. I found a video this morning that I repurposed, and I'm like, oh, I love it. I can't believe I came up with that in November. Where did that come from?
Sometimes I read my story and I'm like, I can't believe I wrote that. So that's a good sign. That's a cool, powerful feeling.
And I like when you go back and you review it, and then sometimes it sparks new ideas of how you can expand on it some more, dig a little deeper into it, create new content.
Yeah. That's another challenge that people have in their personal lives and their business, is that you're so busy moving and going forward that you forget to stop and go back. You know, it's like, go back and assess the situation. What have you done? What was successful? What was not successful? What can you afford to release? Like, what's not serving you anymore? And what do you need to grow into? So that's huge.
Yeah.
You know, when you really assess the situation, which is something we don't know how to do very well.
Being like self-effacing is very hard for people. Yeah.
It's challenging to spend time with yourself and you. And be like, oh, like,
you know, some people talk about it too, how like Michelle Obama was one of these people. She was a box checker, right? So she's not so busy going forward and checking off boxes, doing everything that she's supposed to do, because this is supposed to be pre-scripted, that she's not taking the time to really appreciate all that you've accomplished and what you've done and what you've built. And I think a lot of people are so busy just building and constantly producing that they don't take a step back. And I've even been guilty of this, right? I'm just working. I see, not even, sometimes I see opportunity or I see a need and I feel that need, and so I do it. And then people say, wow, Sammy, you've been such a role model, the way you do this. And I'm like, you saw that? I didn't know that. Like, I was just working.
That's great. That's funny.
I think it's important to reflect, because then you can, you take that moment of self-assessment to say, I did it, I accomplished it, but do I want to pursue doing work like that? Or do I want to change and pivot something? So instead of
especially dealing with hardship like you're dealing with, Dee, like that's very inspiring.
Hey, just so you know, we're all dealing with hardship. It's just different for everybody.
It's just different,
It's very true.
It's not just about me. The only reason that people see it so much in me is because I put it out there. I mean, I'm on YouTube and I talk about it, and, you know, but everybody deals with something. But a lot of times they're so scared to share it. And sometimes what I have realized is that by sharing my struggles, I have gone from victim to inspiration. Like, whoa, how did that happen? It's crazy. I mean, I've opened myself up and shared my story, and I'm not afraid of being me. That's just who I am.
See, I have a question for you. Sorry. So I have a client, a woman who came to me, and she wants to she wants to share her journey, her weight loss journey. So she previously lost 150 pounds and she gained it back. So now she needs to lose it again. But this time she wants to document it and share it with people. But so you think of that, right? You have this vision. This woman's going to lose all this weight. She's going to have these people cheering her on. But because of the insecurities around it, she doesn't want to show her face on social media or her website anymore.
You have to.
And so I tried to tell her that, right? Like, you can empower so many people by just coming forward, and this is your flock. And you can keep a closed page, right? So only certain people has access to it. You can do it that way. And she's like, or maybe, she actually said, maybe I just won't do it anyway. And I'm like, no. So then I'm trying to get her to think, okay, maybe you can create a space where women can all upload their videos from the neck down. Like,
wear a mask. Wear like a cool mask. That would be so interesting.
There you go.
And so I'm like trying to give her, because I want her to pursue it, and I don't want to give her any more doubt not to lose the weight, right? So
and like, look at Dee, like you just feel this like shiny personality, and it's like facial cues. It's absolutely facial cues. If it was just Dee's body talking, I would be like, what is this?
It's so much more than your body.
Yeah. Hey, I look fine when I'm sitting in a chair.
Right?
You look fine when you're standing too.
I'm sure you look fine with your walker.
But-
Was your walker Diva?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
That's great.
So, Sammy, tell your friend, there's a girl that I follow online, and her name is Evelyn Wilson.
Okay.
Evelyn Wilson,
Okay.
I like that sound.
She is so inspirational and motivational, but she gained all this weight. And she's like, oh my God, like I need to start somewhere. And she's actually doing that online. She's sharing her journey.
In her face?
On
And her
Facebook
face.
page. Yeah, and her face. Everything.
Yeah.
She's sharing everything from the head to toe.
What's the name again?
Evelyn Wilson.
I admire that so much.
Me
That's
too.
a really hard journey. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I told her too, you know, it's about you controlling the narrative, you taking control of what's being released, you empowering yourself and other women. I'm like, you know, I need to lose weight too. Do I necessarily want to show my face? No. But if I'm going to be the brand providing this space, it kind of helps if you have somebody who's empowered to say, this is who I am and you're going to watch my transformation.
Yeah.
But
Is she trying to make a business out of that?
Yes.
That's so interesting.
But it's her insecurities. That's all.
Due to the insecurity, she doesn't want to show the face at all. And she said there's plenty of women who do it where they have these like Instagram pages to chronicle their journey.
I have a friend that does it. Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter's friend did it, and she looks awesome now. But I mean, going through it, you could tell she wasn't comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, she's saying that people are doing it and they only show the end result pictures.
No,
So
that's terrible.
they don't even show like this was me at my heaviest. They just show like this is me after all my surgery and you know.
Well, if your friend wants to start this as a business, I have a question for Dee. Like, what made you finally pull the trigger on your business?
I realized that I was surrounded by negativity. I couldn't deal with it anymore. I'm like, oh my God, this world needs some positivity.
Yeah.
So
Definitely does.
and in the MS community that I would, oh my God, you know, if you've ever been diagnosed or if you know anybody who's diagnosed, what's the first thing that you do?
Cry.
First thing that you do, even after crying, you start to search, right? Figure out what
For
it's all
groups.
about.
Yeah.
Information.
Yeah, you go on
Information.
search, and there's nothing nice to find out about MS. There was no positive stuff that made me laugh. There was no
Silver
no wonder.
linings. Yeah.
Oh my God, the world needs something different. You know, we can't just think about MS as like, oh, I'm diagnosed with a debilitating disease.
Have you ever thought about being a spokesperson for MS?
I would
or
love to be a spokesperson.
an organization? Like I watch 90 Day Fiance when I have time, right? And one of the women, she has Tourette's, and like through her experience being on the show, the National Tourette's Association or whatever it is contacted her and asked her to come do speaking engagements and things like that. So I think it would be really cool if you could, you know, you pivoting your business 2 years in, right?
Yeah.
Sign up to be a spokeswoman. You know, do you need a keynote speaker during one of your events? I think it'd be great.
Well, I have to tell you, I went to a Reiki healer, okay?
Oh, cool.
And she, unbeknownst to me, she was also a medium.
I love that.
Yeah. So when I walked in there, she's like, oh, by the way, she goes, your 2 guardian angels are here. I'm like, what?
What?
So yeah,
Who
she's like,
are
those
they?
are grandmothers, are your guardian angels. You didn't know that? I'm like, no. And as I'm laying there on the table, she's going on and on and on and on. And she goes, I'm sorry, I have so much to tell you. Your guardian angels are talking so fast. I'm like, oh God. And she's like, are you okay with this? I'm like, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, sure.
Keep going.
Tell me.
I so want to go to her.
Oh, she's awesome. I'll give you her name.
Yes, please.
So she said to me, she goes, you need to be aware of something. I said, what? She goes, you are supposed to be the poster child for curing yourself of MS.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So,
amazing.
I am working towards that. I have changed the food that I eat. I have changed the supplements that I put in my body. I have changed my mental, state, my physical abilities. I walk every day. I exercise. I'm like, oh yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there.
I think you're prepared. I
Yeah.
think you should reach out. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That is so
Yeah.
cool.
There will be a day when Diva gets retired.
I love that. Diva can live in the closet and you
Yes,
can
she
visit her.
can. Yep, yes, she can.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Wow,
awesome.
well, good luck with that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
On my journey, I'm having a good
On
time.
your journey. And people get uncomfortable when they're not, like, they get, like, impatient. Like, I'm totally impatient. I'm like, I want to get to the end. I want it to be done. I don't want to put the work in. Like, it's so difficult sometimes to, like, be like, I want to shut down my business because it's too much work, you know?
You
I
gotta
can't
go
get
through
to the end
process.
result fast
Yeah.
enough. So,
Well, the challenge with your personal life, if you want to change something personally or your business life, is that it's never a one and done, ever. It does take time and patience and commitment. And don't ever give up on yourself or your dreams. I mean, you can pivot all you want, but don't give up. Don't quit.
yeah.
Keep moving forward. Even if you move, you take one step forward and 10 steps back, you're still moving.
You're still moving.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people, I said, I'm mobility challenged, but I'm still moving.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, I love it too.
You definitely are positive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
So
you
what
can
else?
tell-
What else do you want to tell us?
I needed you
we're
today.
asking so many questions.
No, I appreciate you for asking questions. I'm not here to spew stuff at you guys. I'm here to serve you and answer your questions. So yeah, keep asking. It's all good.
Absolutely.
Do you feel
So-
like being home during this COVID is enhanced your business? Or do you think, I just feel like I'm in a standstill, like I'm frozen. Don't you call like not working, like not being in the physical building that you walk in and,
it's very different.
It's
It's
so
very, very
different.
different. You're not getting that personal connection.
Yeah.
But people are learning how to get a personal connection through social media, through Zoom meetings, like all that kind of stuff. But it's so different. But you said you had a great week. Like you must have been really productive, like making the best of the situation.
It's been very challenging for me to have the patience for people to find me and realize, that, hello, I'm PositiviDEE.
Yeah.
Let me help you with awareness and perspective. And it wasn't until this week where my whole world went in a good way, like fireworks.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I was asked to speak on Word of Mom Radio, and that'll go out next week.
Nice.
I was asked to speak for a group called SOWN that my friend Loretta Peters heads up.
Loretta will be here.
Loretta's doing a program for us. Isn't that amazing?
I love Loretta. She's awesome.
I'm so
I met
excited
her
for that,
on
too.
LinkedIn. I put out I'm going to be putting a new plug, but I put out a plug saying speakers want it, and she replied to it.
Awesome.
What a weird
fantastic.
coincidence. That's great.
Yeah. But it's just, meeting new people and learning new things. I was asked to speak on Inspired News Radio. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's
All these
amazing.
different places. And
Just reached out this week. That's crazy.
yeah. And
That's awesome.
just this week too, I reached out to somebody because I've been creating this course and I felt like I was stuck. I'm like, why am I stuck here? Why can't I get it out? Like, why do I feel like it has to be perfect before I put it out to anybody? And Sammy, do you know Liz Detterer?
I do.
Okay, so I reached out to Liz because I said, has anybody done an online course? And she's like, me. So I'm like, please, let's connect. And Liz said to me, she goes, all you have to do is reach out and tell people that you're doing a pilot program for and name your course. And the name of my course is How to Find Calm in the Chaos. And,
Love it.
ask for people, are you interested? Do you want to join me? And that's all I did. I made it fit in one of those little Facebook, all purple things. I didn't do anything special. And I got people to comment and people that were interested. So I've got 3 people signed up for my course and I'm like, yes.
That's
That was just this
awesome.
week.
That's
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Notice that the
You
Facebook
had a-
Live now, there's so many.
Yeah.
During COVID, I watched many things. For example, Hammonasset, they have Meg's Nature Center.
Mhm.
I had gone there early on before everybody was staying home, and they weren't open because of COVID, but they were having online things, so I went online to watch it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are
I just got
interested in
off
this
of
stuff.
Yeah, I just did an Instagram panel today. My day has been back to back. You guys who have freedom and boredom during this time, I envy you. Like for Friday in the summer, my day has been insane. So
I feel like honestly, I've been working more than when I was in the building because I don't have those hours where I'm like answering questions at the desk. Yeah. So I'm filling those hours with like extra social media work, extra program work, extra everything. It's very bizarre working from home and feeling like you're working more.
Yeah.
For me, I had a different impact because I've been working from home. It's what I do. But, you know, I have my new 6-year-old coworker, so that makes it different. But a lot of people in my space weren't used to working from home. Yeah. So like you were saying, you know, people are finding new ways to get that connection with people. So especially when we first started working from home and everybody was quarantined, people were just randomly calling me all day long. And I'm like, why are you calling me? Send me a text. Why are you calling me? And then
networking.
Yeah. Like, you gonna jump on FaceTime? No. Why are we getting I don't want to see you. I'm working. What are you doing? And so I'm like, but it's all those people where I'm okay working from home, right? I don't need to be in the office. I don't need the water cooler chat. I don't need to see people. I'm such an introvert. I don't need it. But the other, like my best friend's is an extrovert. So she's like, hey, Sammy, can we do a FaceTime call? I'm like, why? Like, why do a FaceTime call? Is something wrong? Like, no.
That's funny. Well, Dee, I think that you getting 3 people for that program and so many people calling you this week, that's just like showing exactly what you're talking about. Like you put in the work and suddenly you're taking steps back and then you're like leaping forward because suddenly these good things are happening. And that's cool that they said that at the Reiki situation because I'm spiritual, so I like believe in that stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And I also love it too because it's the trajectory that you're putting your business on for when we come out of this COVID. Imagine the number of requests and speaking engagements you're going to get.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
All this is just preparing you.
No kidding.
We're just your first set of business people. You're going to be talking to a room full of business executives.
There you go.
What I've realized, you guys, is that what we want is already in existence. It's already there. It's just on another level, you know? And if you really think about it, it's like when you listen to a radio station, we normally listen to the same station all the time. But what you want exists just on another station, you know?
That's interesting. I love that.
Yeah, even though you're stuck in this reality, this little bubble reality, which right now sucks for a lot of us, you know? It doesn't suck somewhere else. It's just, it's out there. You just
and it's like getting there.
You have to be able to vision it. You have to be able to see it in your mind. So I've been working a lot on my vision and what I see for myself. Not so much like now in the second, but you know, 6 months from now. And it's amazing how that has changed things for me. Like just like I said, within the past week, I'm like, holy crow, what is going on here?
And that's just gonna lead to more. That is so exciting. I'm loving that. Yeah. And also like for me, it's like I was really thinking of stopping my like rare book business and just like pivoting into like focusing on library science and like working at the library. But I was like, I love this so much. I don't want to shut it down, but I want to be successful in it. But it takes so much work. Like, what am I going to do? But at the same time, working from home, that's freeing up hours for me that I can work in the morning and at night. And it's just making yourself like realize that that's a benefit or a silver lining of such a horrible situation, you know?
Yeah. Something else to keep in mind is that anything that you want to do well, anything that is going to be good for you is not going to be a bibbidi bobbidi boo. You know, there's no magic pill. There's nothing you can go out there and grab. There's no yellow brick road. You know, it's just, there's no easy way to get there. It's a commitment. It's a commitment, and it's sometimes it's a grind, you know, and you keep showing up,
and you'll be proud in the end.
Even if you show up and you feel like you're in an abyss, like I did for a long time. I just kept showing up, and all of a sudden I've got people that go, oh my God, I follow you every day. I'm like, What?
You?
I never see your name on anything.
What are your tips for keep showing up? That's hard.
Well,
Wait, Colleen, I need to jump. I'm 6 minutes late for another call. I'm telling you, all back-to-backs today. Colleen, I'm going to leave this for you to finish recording and everything. But now I got to jump to the next one. I'm sorry.
God bless you, Sammy. Don't forget to breathe.
Take care, Sammy.
Okay, good seeing you, Lori. Bye. Thanks, Dee.
Bye, Sammy.
Take
You're
care.
welcome.
Bye, Sammy.
So I guess it all depends on your business. Tell me more about your business. Like, how can you show up? What can you contribute? Can you talk about different books that are out there? Can you give different pointers? Can you show up on Facebook Live? Can you show up via quotes that you've gotten from books?
Yeah, I think I need to try some different things because people are really reaching for that connection. So if I start doing videos showing books instead of Instagram posts, like I actually have like 8,000 followers on Instagram, and they love, and it's been over 3 or 4 years. So that's how I built that up. But
incredible.
Yeah, so that's, I think, part of why I got hired at the library was because they needed help with social media, and they were like, oh, this girl knows how to do it. But it's like, out of those people, if none of them are buying my books, I'm going, what is going on? They just like my photos. Like, I'll get like 200 likes on a photo, but no one buys that book. So I'm trying to figure out that disconnect. And I think you're right. I need to try like Facebook Live. I need to try something else, like a quote from a book. I need to try something else because I'm not getting
do like a raffle or something, like maybe a special book that everybody wants.
That would be great.
Sell raffle tickets for it or something.
Yeah, like an online, like
then give it away, you know, like something that maybe it's not expensive, real expensive, but something someone would want. Maybe they could.
Because people love that. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like I noticed, like when you go to get takeout now, it's different. It's not, oh, just gonna pay and leave. You know, it's more conversing, and do you have a menu? I'll pass the word. I'll put it on social media. Like there's more going on now. If you notice. Like I just went somewhere and I bought a T-shirt because they're selling T-shirts. So of course, instead of giving big tips, I don't have that kind of money, but you know, you buy a T-shirt and you wear it. I said, I'll be advertising. I'll be wearing your shirt.
Nice.
Yeah.
So there's always different ways. I know my son has a business that he started a couple of years ago. It's Manifest Millennial. And it's like that age group, you know, he has a following, he has a blog, he's on Facebook, he's on Instagram. But he did sort of like that. He did the T-shirts and stuff, getting it out there. And the other day I'm walking and I see a friend and she has one of the shirts on. So it's exciting when you see it. Or I was in the grocery store when I used to work at ShopRite, and I look up and someone had my son's hat on. I took a picture.
That's amazing.
You know, those kind of things, you see it, it's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's other things to do with it. It's
I need to really brainstorm and show up, like you're saying, like show up in a different way. And this whole idea of like, this has worked so well for me for so long, and now suddenly it's not working. It made me want to shut down. It made me want to just say, okay, I'm done. It's not working anymore. And you're right. Like if you have a positive mindset, like I can get this working. I just have to try something else.
Yeah.
I
but
think
if you get it to enough people and you get following, some kind of following somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, you should like we are at home now.
Yeah. If you have 8,000 people following you on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think you're okay, my friend. I mean,
I know. It's just getting them to buy the book. It's like, come on, I know you love this picture of a book. It's a beautiful book. Like, I get it, but like, buy it.
Yeah, no, definitely share what you got out of the book, you know?
Yeah, like more personal stories and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Like a weekly, maybe a weekly thing that you do.
Yeah.
At the end of the week, you have your good quote of the week, or, you know, you draw people in that they look for that. Like my son does Make Mondays Not Suck. So he has the T-shirt that goes along with it.
That's awesome.
You know, people don't know what that means. And, you know, of course, now we're at home. Everybody's home 24/7. So it's not mattering, but it's still out there. You know, those kind of things, they stick with people.
That's awesome.
Come up with something.
I think I need to try some different things. You guys are giving me good ideas. Yeah.
Just give yourself.
Well, you can't give up, Colleen.
I know.
Yeah, give yourself the time to really think about it. Do a brain dump. You know? Except instead of saying yes, but, because we're all conditioned to say yes, but, say yes, and. Write down everything. And like one thing and then go yes, and then write something else. Yes, and, you know, just keep
like
going,
that.
going, going. Yeah. No matter how absurd it is, do it. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yep.
I also think being home, you're more, everything's magnified. Like to me, I'm not getting done what I think, oh, I'm home, I should get that done. You know what I mean? You don't get it done because you say, oh, well, when I'm home, I'll do it. Well, I'm home now and I'm not doing anything. So the things that you say, I'm going to do that when I have a few weeks off, or, you know, that's what you look at, everything around you. And it's high stress.
But it's hard to focus and it's high stress. So it's like, you're really not going to paint your living room because it's just like, you can't focus on that right now.
You can, but you're not going to because you're almost like you can't concentrate because there's too much going on.
Yeah.
Like I find I'm working all day today. I didn't have to work today. I could have waited until Monday.
Yeah.
But when I went online this morning, I always check my email, and then I saw these things. I already went to something this morning. At 11:30.
Well, I'm glad you came to this one.
I know, me too. I'm happy. You cheered me up because I needed some kind of boost.
I know. PositiviDEE. Like,
I know. I saw that. I was like, I gotta go. I don't have my own business, but I still want to go.
Awesome. No, you guys definitely search for PositiviDEE, DEE, on YouTube, on Facebook. It's just.
I'm gonna go look right now.
There's some really good stuff out there. Really, really, really good stuff. And
your website is ADoseofPositividee, but it's DEE.
yes, DEE. Yep. But the thing is, on YouTube, because there's so much positivity, TY.
Yeah.
If you search a dose of PositiviDEE, nothing comes up.
Oh, that's hard.
But if you put in PositiviDEE, just PositiviDEE, DEE, it comes up. Or if you look up Dee DiFatta, it comes up. It's so weird.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll definitely
weird.
be looking at more of your videos and looking forward to your book.
Oh,
and this
like
was awesome. Thank you, Dee.
Be patient with the book. You're welcome.
I will be patient. And absolutely feel free to contact us. Good luck.
You'll have to come to the library once you have it out there.
That's what I was saying.
There you go. Yes, most definitely.
Absolutely. We'll social distance and all that stuff. But when we open up, we'll contact you and we'll have to do this again.
Sounds good. I would love that.
Great meeting you.
Oh, it's nice meeting you too.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you so much. You
Thanks,
guys take
Kelly.
care.
Thanks, Dee.
All right. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.